There was a question yesterday, a written question about the origin of this teaching. As this teaching was initiated in the form of vision for the great Sachin Kumanyingbo. I have an interest in answering this because this teaching should not be also referred. This teaching should not be considered as revelation within the certain context. Sachin Kumanyingbo or his followers, and the rest, is not really claiming that this is something that Buddha never taught, that this is something totally different from what Buddha taught. I think it's quite important to make this point because from the time immemorial, I think the urge to be the revealer or urge to be the founder or the initiator of a certain religion or a system or a teaching is so big. Even today, we see a lot of people who write books. In fact, some of them bestsellers. And then if you read them right at the beginning, well, I'll spit it out so that you don't have to really wonder who it is. I've recently read, since it's a bestseller, and I love bestsellers. I mean, I like to sort of see what is it in there. There's a book called, I think, Power of Now. Master, Eckhart Tolle. And right at the first page, you notice that how this came suddenly. I forgot the detail, while he was gazing at the sunset or something like that. Unlike many teachings, like Shantadeva's, Shantadeva's Bodhicharya Avatara is just such a gem. But right at the beginning, he said, I have spoken nothing that was not spoken before. And his gratitude towards his masters, I mean, this is very common. Those who have read a lot of Buddhist teachings, gratitude and remembering the kindness of our masters is right at the first page, the first line. How this is something that I have learned from so and so masters. But this is not the case with a lot of the modern revealer or writer or the initiator of the spiritual path. And there's this big claim that this is all really from them. It came out from them. Then of course, I cannot argue that. It could be. We never know. I can never ever argue thoroughly that somewhere in this world there is no exactly same, exactly a human being who just looks like me and talks like me. I cannot argue them. I haven't seen every human being on this earth. How can I argue that? Similarly, of course I cannot argue that this is not, but from my deluded and very not at all someone who is equipped with a pure perception. As you read the book, I'm talking about the Bharat now, you see so many of the examples coming from the books that you read, like Shandadeva, Vakisha Dipankara, many. Even the examples, even the logic. So one is made to think that if you really want to plagiarize, you really should plagiarize so skillfully that no one really will find out where this came from. So not only many of these authors are not really, in my view, the original founder of such teachings. They are not even a good plagiarist. I want to point this out because some of you may think that Sachin Kunganyin this is sort of something that has never been taught by the Buddha, and therefore this is almost like a new religion, the beginning of a new religion and such. In fact, the Tibetans, we look up to the Indians so much. We dare not want to do anything that Indians haven't done. Jagat Chukun Tsun said, they are the masters. In fact, we call them, the land of India was a puppy, the land of sublime. In order to authenticate a teaching, we had to even have at least the title of the book in Sanskrit. So the attitude of claiming that this is something that has never been taught, this is the first time, no one has it, this actually is something that generally the Tibetan, and especially the great masters such as Sachin Kunganyin will be first thing that they will try to avoid. And even the context, if you read the four, abandonment of attachment, these four, if you go through, this is something that is found, taught, explained in the sutras, Abhidharma, Vinaya. It is found in the Tripitaka. It is not contradicting to what Buddha have taught. It is a complement to what Buddha have taught. And I have said this, as I told you last time, a few days ago. The purpose of this is not to repeat everything what Buddha said. As I said, Sutra is very vast. As well, Shastra is very vast. People like you and me, we don't have time. We have a lot of other things to do. We have to watch movies, we have to watch football, all of things. So we need a little bit of pith instruction so that we can do it within an hour or two. So it is really great for someone like Sachin Kunganyin with his devotion towards the Manjushri, who is actually none other than Sakyamuni himself, his own Buddha nature, which is reflected as a Lord Manjushri, Bodhisattva of wisdom, spoke in this word. And just like as many of you, those who are following the Mahamudra tradition, you know that Tapok Penchen or Tapochuchi, the Milarepa's disciple, he also has Tapochuji, for instance, before Dharmas of the Gampopa. Four Dharmas of Gampopa, all kinds of things. There are so many things like that. Kadampas have so many of these sets. 3 this of Kadampas, 4 this of Kadampa, 5 this of Kadampa, so many these sets. And these sets of teachings that are specially designed to remember, easy to remember, compact, easy to remember. There are so many of these teachings. I guess these few days or two, I've been going all the 4 points. Mainly, we're discussing the first point. If you have attachment to this life, you are not a Dharma practitioner. And we have discussed about need to do that. We need the discipline. And for that we talked about the refuge, and then we are now going through the Tasam Gomsum, hearing, contemplation and meditation, and today we are going to discuss a little bit about meditation. Meditation again, I shall repeat this. Taking refuge, taking that vow of refuge, if you have taken refuge, then you have created yourself as a perfect vessel to plant or to establish hearing, contemplation and meditation. I want to stress this because many times when you go to, these days, meditation has become something trendy. Yoga, meditation, they are very popular thing to do. Everybody does it. Meditation is very a thing to do now. Yoga centers, spas in Rajasthan, doesn't matter wherever, Bali. I don't know that I should be telling you this, but just to fill up the time. You still have 5 days, 6 days. I have a friend in Thailand, and I have this, like many Tibetans do, I have this high cholesterol problem, and I'm really bad with the discipline of eating the right food. So my friends, with their consent, they basically lured me or forced me into this really like a first class spa in Thailand. I don't know how much they paid, maybe something like this. The friend knows some owner of this. So anyway, I got into this 3 days only. I had a weekend. So they tell you to do all sorts of things. They even have a certain food that I'm supposed to eat. So it's really good. It's really like a 5-star prison. You can't go out, you can't do this, you have to do lots of exercise. And there are so many people actually. So many people who are doing many, people. And you have to get up like 5 in the morning, you have to jog on the beach, and then you have to do water exercise, you have to then, all of that. In between that there is a massage, like that. But there is one section where they say, oh, now this is all the health for the body, now for the mental health. There's a meditation. Also, I went there. And it's really surprising to find. Many classes like morning jogging or all of this, you only have like 2 or 3 people. Most of them are sleeping. They always skip. Nobody really pushed them. It's very surprising to see many people listening to this meditation master what? Anyway, there was a really nice television. In the center there's a blue dot. I think he heard something. You can't really argue with him too much. And this blue dot, if you look at this blue dot, it was becoming bigger and bigger. Then it was circling. It was kind of hypnotic actually. But that's about it. That's the only way. And you can do, it was catering for spoiled people basically. So there's all these cushions and anyway. So meditation is quite popular. Meditation is really people, I think, are attracted to meditation. But what I want to point out is, if you don't have Dhamma or the vow, then meditation, that without the Dhamma or the vow, especially something like refuge, the meditation is really, it's not even a gera or not even a virtue. It's not even a virtue. It's just a technique to calm your mind. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do it. No, of course not. By all means. So if you are asking me, without the Dhamma or the vow, what is the meditation for me? I would sooner go to a sauna or have a massage, because after all that might also relax you. Or go walk in an English garden or something. Because anything that would calm your mind, you can just do it. So meditation is nothing special, basically, that's what I'm saying. If you don't have the vow. Now, of course, I'm coming from the Mahayana point of view. It's only when you have a vow, and especially something like taking refuge to the Buddha, Dharma and the Sangha, then your hearing, your contemplation, and especially your meditation is becoming very special. So really, the vow is the most important. And this is exactly what is stated here in the Java Jensen's explanation. Remember meditation is really indispensable. You cannot do without meditation. But if you do meditation if you do meditation based on the attachment to this life, which is the spa meditation, The spa meditation, the health-oriented meditation is all to make this life's mind healthy. So can you see it's actually contradiction maybe is not the right word. Maybe it is.